Which diet should I follow? Keto, carnivore, Mediterranean, vegan? Every one of them has someone swearing it changed their life. And that's exactly why testimonials can't answer the question. They cancel each other out. So let me change the question. Not what will get the weight off by summer, but what way of eating gives me the best chance of still being healthy when I'm 85? And that's much more useful question, and we actually have a pretty good answer. That is, build your diet around whole, minimally processed plant foods. And here's the good news. This isn't an all or nothing switch. Think of it more like a dial. As you move your diet toward more vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, you're moving in the right direction. You can turn that dial way up and eat whole food plant based, or you can eat Mediterranean style, lots of plant food with olive oil, nuts, and fish, and other animal foods. You don't have to choose between perfect and pointless. You decide how far you can move the dial and how far you can sustain it. I'm a physician board certified in family medicine and lifestyle medicine. Let me show you why I recommend this. What does the evidence show? Start with your heart. Whole food, plant based diets can lower LDL cholesterol and blood pressure. We see that in randomized trials, not just surveys. Then look at cardiovascular events. In PREDIMED, thousands of people at high cardiovascular risk followed a Mediterranean dietary pattern supplemented with extra virgin olive oil or nuts. The Mediterranean group had about a 30% relative reduction in major cardiovascular events compared with the control group. And intense lifestyle programs centered around very low fat, plant based diets have even demonstrated regression of coronary atherosclerosis in small studies, although diet wasn't the only intervention. Now, type 2 diabetes. Plant-rich diets can improve blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, and weight. And with substantial lifestyle change, some people with type 2 diabetes can achieve remission. Cancer. The evidence again points toward eating more fiber-rich plant foods and limiting processed meat. The WHO Cancer Agency classifies processed meat as carcinogenic to humans. But I also want to tell you where the evidence isn't as strong. Dementia and depression are good examples. The observational data are encouraging, but when the MIND diet was tested in a randomized trial, it did not significantly slow cognitive decline over 3 years compared with a control diet. So I'm not going to promise you that eating this way will prevent dementia. What I can say is that it supports cardiovascular and metabolic health, and those matter to your brain too. What about keto and carnivore? Keto can work, especially short term. People lose weight, blood sugar can improve, triglycerides can fall, but over time, its advantage over other weight loss diets tends to narrow, and LDL cholesterol can rise substantially in some people. We also don't have decades-long randomized outcome trials telling us whether using keto as a lifelong diet reduces heart attack, strokes, or mortality. So I don't dismiss keto. It is not where I would start for long-term health. Carnivore concerns me more. People may lose weight and feel better eating that way, but we don't have randomized trials demonstrating long-term cardiovascular or mortality benefit from a carnivore diet. And by definition, you remove all the fiber-rich plant foods. Here's the distinction I want you to remember. Feeling better for 6 months is not the same as being healthier at 80 or 90. And then there's what I've seen personal. My own lipid panel normalized, so did my blood sugar. I've watched friends and family lose significant weight, improve their cholesterol and blood sugar, reduce medications under medical supervision, and in some cases achieve remission of conditions such as type 2 diabetes and hypertension. That's a personal experience, it's not proof. But when what I'm seeing points in the same direction as a clinical evidence, it reinforces the choice I made for myself. So, where do you set your diet? If you are someone who does better with a clean break, go for it. Change everything in the refrigerator, change the grocery list, start this week. But if you've tried that 10 times and always end up back where you've started, try something different. Add before you subtract. Instead of asking, what do I have to give up? Ask, what can I add to this meal? Add a vegetable, add beans or lentils, swap a refined grain for a whole grain, add some fruit and look at your plate. How many colors do you see? Green, red, orange, purple, yellow. Think rainbow, not superfood, and cook more at home because when you cook, you decide what's in the food, not the food company. So, if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Plants first, whole foods, lots of variety and color, less ultra processed food, and remember the dial. You don't have to turn it all the way up tomorrow. But the more you can move toward whole, plant rich foods and actually sustain it, the better. And don't start with a complicated 30-day plan. Start with your next meal. Add one vegetable. That's it. One important reminder, if you have a medical condition, are pregnant, have a history of eating disorder, or take medications that can be affected by major dietary changes, talk with your healthcare professional about what's appropriate for you. As your blood pressure or blood sugar improves, some medications may need to be adjusted. Your health doesn't change in one day, it changes through what you do every day. So don't wait for the perfect diet, the perfect Monday, or the perfect time. Start with one small habit today. And Dr. Jessica, if you want practical, evidence based ways to build a healthy life, subscribe, take control of your health one small habit at a time. I'll see you next time.